We have Stevie Calista, our go-to astrologer, with us today to break down the latest astrological questions that we all have. So coming up, we have this full moon on July 21st, which some people refer to as a blue moon and other people refer to it as a buck moon, and some people call it a blue buck moon, I imagine. But what does that mean?
They're both like it's same but different. So if you're referring to the buck moon, that's indigenous in nature. It's really when the male deer start to grow their antlers and when nature is really flourishing. So it really signifies growth in the natural world this time of year at a seasonal level. And so they called it the buck moon. And it's also been referred to as the thunder moon because we have a lot of thunderstorms right now as well. So
Oh, that makes sense.
yeah, that's the buck side of it. Just like every moon has like a strawberry moon and a
Yeah, exactly. Which we haven't really talked about that much. And those occur every year at the same time.
right. Yeah,
Different days, but like seasonal.
exactly. So every year around this time, the full moon would be called a buck moon. And the blue moon there's multiple definitions for this. I'm going to speak to three. The first one is the second full moon in a calendar month, the Gregorian calendar, our calendar. So that's not this full moon is not that definition. And then there's the third full moon of a season between the solstice and the equinox, where there's 4 full moons. That's a blue moon.
Okay.
Which is also not this moon.
Okay.
And then there's an ancient meaning where when the full moon happens in the same zodiac sign, it's a blue moon. And to me, that feels the most potent because if you look at the Gregorian calendar, it's not ancient in the wisdom. And it actually has quite a lot of disharmony in it. Like if we were to really go by, and I could talk about this forever and I won't, but if we were to go by a real month, it's a moonth. It's a moon, which means 27.3 days, which is a lunar cycle. So if we went by moons,
I just like, what? How have we never talked about that? How have we never?
Yeah.
Oh, Stevie, love
And
it.
if there are any astro nerds out there, go follow Gemini Brett. He is a master wizard of all data and he's such a beautifully spiritual soul. You have to be a pretty big astro nerd, I would say, to enjoy his stuff, but he talks about this stuff all the time.
I love that. This one's in Capricorn, right?
Yep. So on, what was it, June 22nd, we had the first one at 1 degrees of Capricorn. And then on July 21st, we have 29 degrees Capricorn. So we went from the very beginning to the very end of Capricorn, which is pretty special.
Yeah. So what can people expect energetically from this full moon?
So basically, if you think about having 2 illuminations in your life, that's a big deal, right? This happens about every 3 years. So it's pretty rare. It's a special kind of drawn out segment where one part of your life. So if you know how to look at a chart, go see where Capricorn is, look up the house, and you can just look up what does the 5th house mean. And you basically have 2 illuminations in that place in your life. So for some people, relationships, some people self, some people home, wherever Capricorn lives. So it's like this extended aha almost in everybody's life in some place. And it's going to vary depending on your rising sign. This full moon's pretty special too because it's conjunct Pluto, special. I don't know how you want to, depends on how you look at Pluto. This to me really signifies the crumbling systems. Pluto is at the last degree of Capricorn. This is the last and final few months where Pluto is going to be spending his time in Capricorn before he finally moves into Aquarius in the fall. And so this is definitely signaling to the public, not just internally, I'm speaking externally, publicly, socially, that the systems are going to fall. Like we're all seeing this, right? Been saying this for 7 years, it feels like.
Oh, I know. You're really seeing it everywhere globally.
Yes. And I do feel like 10 years from now, we're going to look back and the education system's going to be different. The government, how we live our lives, how we work, our money. I think within 10 years, we're going to be like, whoa, we used to live like that. But it's rocky getting there, right? So this full moon is really illuminating what still has to fall and what needs to be let go of. And internally in your own life, Pluto signifies transformation and life, death, life. So rebirth. And so he also signifies our shadow. And so when you have a full moon, especially a blue moon, the veil is thinner and the moon's not actually blue.
Thank you for saying that. Yes.
Strawberry blue, you're thinking you're looking for blue. Okay. So it's not.
Yeah. So the only time a moon could actually be blue is if there is a volcanic eruption. I had to look this up. And it creates an atmospheric color change in the moon. But that's, people would be like, oh, blue moon because of that chemical reaction. But no, it just means that when you say once in a blue moon, it just means not all the time.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's right, that expression.
yeah.
So is there any specific way, you said to look in your chart and see where Capricorn may be in your chart, but is there anything else that we should be doing to prepare for that, or any kind of ritual that we should be considering when the blue moon is upon us?
I would say, and we've already been feeling this, right? Once you start the new moon, which was the Cancer new moon on July 5th, you're already planting the seed. So we're already in this lunar cycle, right? The moon, the 27.3 days, like it's a whole cycle. And just the full moon part of it is just the time where you're like, I planted that seed and now there's an illumination. So this could definitely mean that Plutonian themes are illuminated. So what do you need to let go of? What needs to fall away? It does feel, because it's Capricorn, this could be something that we're scared of. So maybe a shadow aspect of yourself, something that's been holding you back, things of this nature, that it's really a serious, intense letting go process. So ritualistically, this is a fantastic time to go burn something that you want to let go of. And I hate saying that stuff because it's so common in the spiritual world, but for real.
I enjoy burning on a full moon, and like a good one. It just feels good.
It does.
It does.
This is really a good time to do the letting go process and to surrender to the fears and have them be illuminated in your life. So that means that you could have a light on in a place that's been tucked away in the basement for a while. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And it's being brave enough and knowing you're supported energetically to look at what you need to let go of during this time, and know that you just have extra support during that time.
Yeah. And really, if you think about it too, like Capricorn is the foundation and systems that we live in ourselves in our own life. So this also means, what foundational aspects do you need to blow up? Or because Pluto likes to blow it all the way up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because we're in new timelines now, and we're literally redoing what it means to be a human on Earth. So what can we let go of? We're very powerful, and Pluto signifies power.
I love that idea of being able to have a dedicated time to let go of something that you're really fearful of, right? Like sometimes it feels, oh, I need to let go of that person in my life or that job. And that's almost an overwhelming thing. But even just to use that time, just in these very small little practices of letting those little fears out of your life, can open up yourself to receiving so much more. So just thinking about it that way.
And sometimes too, I know this sounds dramatic, but going somewhere, maybe sitting on the earth and really fully letting yourself be totally horrified, scared of the fear. If you're really scared of not having any money or something, what if you were to go put yourself in a position where you just fully felt what that feels like in your body, and then breathe through it to be like, okay, I'm still okay. I'm still safe. Bodying it can really help you, like, then give it back to the earth to be composted or burnt or whatever. But like sitting in that feeling, it's probably
right. When you think of what does seem like the worst thing to you, and let it move through. I love the idea of sitting in the earth, let it move through you, let the earth take it in for you, and then know you're cleansed.
Yeah. And that you're supported too. And as we always say, really, your mind can play out the worst fear in the way that even it could never happen, right? Your mind is always the worst at being able to conjure what that worst case scenario could actually be. I love that, Stevie. That's so helpful.
I think we're prepared. Right?
Thank you.
All right, let's go burn some stuff.
Burn it down.